If you struggle with your diet in any way, shape, or form, it's a sign you need to take a look at the relationship you have with food. In this video, I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks as to how to start to rebuild your relationship with food and some different ways to reframe food so that you can develop a healthy, happy relationship with food. The first thing I want you to do is to ask yourself what your relationship with food is like now. You can kind of ask yourself some questions like, is it an annoying task for me? Is it something I dread doing? People who tend to hate cooking, this might be something that they experience. It's really annoying to make food, or it might be really annoying to go out of their work day to go get a meal. Perhaps you experience guilt or shame around eating. Another one is restriction. Is your diet restricted? Do you have yes foods and absolute no foods? That can really create some turmoil with food. Another question to ask yourself is, am I eating for comfort? Am I eating to de-stress? Food is a very comforting thing physiologically. It is something that can actually make us feel happier and less stressed. So it's a very common thing to lean on food, especially if we don't have any other stress relief tools in our toolkit. The last one I would like you to consider is, are you eating out of boredom? I know that's something that I tend to fall in myself. Ultimately, it's important that you uncover the root of your relationship with food in order to start healing it and to start building a healthier relationship with it. Ultimately, food's amazing. Food is something that is life. It's what allows us to function as humans. And it may be hard because we're constantly bombarded with these messages about eating in a way that makes us look a certain way. And that can be really toxic for a lot of people, or can create a lot of stress, especially if you're trying to figure out what the best thing is to eat to heal. So I want to offer a couple reframes for you, and probably not every one of these is going to land with you, but my hope is that one of them will hopefully help you think about food in a different way. All right, so one of the first ones is to ask yourself, what about food do you enjoy? I know for me personally, I really enjoy the break from screen time. When I get to cook, it feels like an opportunity to become really present and get away from screens, which is something that's a big part of my life with the work I do. I also love how food connects me to people when I get to sit down for a meal. So try and pull out the things that you really enjoy about food and start to look at food in that lens. Another way you can think about this is something called mindful eating. And mindful eating is essentially becoming really present with your food by using all 5 of your senses. For an example of this, what you would do is essentially, let's take a cookie. I feel like I always use sugar cookie examples because I love it, all right? So we're gonna use it. So imagine a chocolate chip cookie. You would then first look at it, check it out, observe what does it look like, what textures are you seeing, maybe you'll take a smell, what scents are you noticing from it. Then you take a bite of it. Are there noises that you're picking up? What are the textures like in your mouth? What are the flavors that you're getting? I think I dialed all of those 5 senses, but if I didn't, I think you get the point. And this just really allows us a chance to be with our food and to really taste it and really enjoy it for everything. And as a bonus, you're gonna actually find out you're fuller faster because you're paying attention versus being distracted, which I think many people do when they're eating. Myself included, I'm not always perfect with this. Another one you can consider is looking at food as fuel. I love this metaphor that Chris and Soma have taught me about our bodies being like the nicest, fanciest, most expensive car you have. Are you going to put the worst, cheapest fuel into your car? Or are you going to get the performance fuel, the best, more expensive fuel? That's not to equate that only healthy foods are expensive, but I think you're getting the point. Thinking about the food you're taking in and how is it giving me fuel? Is it propelling me to have more energy, or is it taking energy away? And this also kind of goes hand in hand with the next one, and thinking that food is information. Food doesn't just come in and out of our body in a way that makes us feel full and change our body shape. It literally is information that has a cascading effect in all sorts of systems in our body. So if you think of it that way, that no matter what you put in your body, you are giving it information. You can give it information to help your body heal, to give you energy, to be a healthy person, or you can give it information to kind of struggle, lead you down the path of sickness. So again, an interesting way to kind of look at food and consider food. The last one I'd like to offer you is gratitude. And gratitude is another kind of presence technique you can do, but it's another way to kind of rebuild a relationship with food. And what you can start doing is look at the food and ask what it took to get there. You can ask, what did it take you to do to actually get this food on the table? How many hours of work did you have to do to buy this meal out? How much time did you spend cooking that meal? Be grateful for the efforts that you put in to bring that food to the table. Same way, you can contemplate all the different people that did get that food to your table, the farmers, the truckers, the grocery store workers. There's a lot that goes into this food. And when we start to recognize that, it's hard not to be grateful for it. So there's a handful of ways to start to rebuild your relationship in a way that could be more positive with food. And so I hope that this was interesting, maybe gave you some food for thought, no pun intended. And if we did get you thinking, let us know in the comments below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.